and ensure that if there is culpability or culpability by any person, including a security official or a law enforcement agency, justice is served, because the law does not allow death outside what is permitted in law. To that extent, I agree the incompleteness of that response, and I beg for 24 hours to again supplement with a more detailed information that includes the last 12 of the cases that were not included in the list which I had forwarded already to the committee yesterday. Secondly, the member has talked about the policy. He believes that government has a policy on abductions, and I disagree with the member with a lot of respect. It is not true, because policy has to be stated, it has to be articulated. Policy cannot be, it's not nebulous, it's not abstract. I, as the minister who is responsible, and including the president himself, have made it clear in public, in private, in all forums, that this administration does not condone abductions or extrajudicial killings or enforce disappearances. So it is unfair to visit a policy of extrajudicial killings on government unless we are provided with the evidence of policy pronouncement, policy articulation that supports this kind of unlawful behavior. And going forward, I think the challenge we have, Chair, as a country, is just to make sure that anybody who breaks the law, even if they are law enforcement people, they are brought to account. And I think in the spirit of the national, the police, and other security sector reforms which we have initiated, I want to promise Kenya that we will rein in on any excesses by law enforcement officials to use weapons that are bought with the taxes of the people of Kenya outside the law to harm the people of Kenya, to kill the people of Kenya, or even to arrest them in a manner that is inconsistent with the Constitution. In a nutshell, this government, and I say without fear of contradiction, does not condone extrajudicial killings, does not condone abductions by any person, whether a criminal or a law enforcement agency. Lastly, the member has asked about the missing persons. Again, the supplementary list will contain the OB number and the people who are reported missing per county. I think Nairobi has the highest. Nyandarua, I think, was the highest. Nyandarua had 13 cases reported. But what I want to inform the committee chair through you is that it is not scientifically correct to say that when someone is reported missing, they have been abducted. It is also not scientific to say that if a missing person report has been made, that that person has been abducted because they were participating in a demonstration. We have had a problem in this country for the last so many years of persons who are reported missing. Some of them have been traced eventually after months, others after weeks, others after years, others have never been found. And therefore, while we got some missing person reports from actually across the country, incidentally including some of the parts of the country where the demonstrations were not violent or were not even present, and that breakdown per county is provided. And therefore, with the great respect to the committee, I want to submit, Chair, that again, just like the cases of the deceased people, those who died, though those who are reported missing, we continually to look for them, to trace them, and we are appealing for information that can help us trace them. And it is the business of the police to make sure that the country is safe and people are protected from criminals, and it cannot be the policy of this government to support any harm on any Kenyan for politics or for whatever reason, because that would violate our constitution. I submit.
Finally, Chair, just on the same issue, Waziri, a number of these people who were killed, the 42 according to your record, even though normal media and through ISK and other LSK and other organizations say the number is much, much higher. Actually, yesterday in the news, they talked about 61 cases, and several numbers are still missing up to now. You have admitted quite a number of these so-called people who were killed by bullets. And obviously, those are police bullets. And obviously, you must have a traceability mechanism to know who was assigned what gun, what kind of ammunition was assigned. Is it possible to trace and follow up and know exactly which police officer shot any particular member of these 42 who have died? And that being the case, having been killed, as you have clearly said, weapons bought by the people of Kenya, what measures have you put in place to ensure the bereaved families, the families who lost loved ones, their breadwinners, their hopes in life, what measures has the government put in place to compensate, even assuage or relieve their pain? What measures has the government put in place? Thank you, Chair.
Chair, I would like to respond to the further intervention by the honorable member as follows. That I have not admitted that any Kenyan was killed by the police. What I said is that some died because of bullet wounds. The process of proving the owner of the gun that discharged a killer bullet is a forensic process. And I am not ruling out the possibility that a police officer may have the law. But just 2 comments there, Chair, which I honestly believe are in the best interest